Greetings, fellow humans. Katrina here. Quick disclaimer, I'm a professional, not your professional. Nothing I'm about to say should be taken as medical, legal, or otherwise advice. This podcast is purely for education and amusement. That is it. Disclaimer over. So I thought I'd talk today about a bit about what I don't know about extemporaneous speaking. I think I spoke extemporaneously on my Facebook Live a couple days ago, talking about the fact that I might be talking about this particular topic. So it's a really fancy way, extemporaneous speaking anyway, is a really fancy way of saying delivering a well-prepared speech. So extemporaneous speaking is not delivering a monologue or a memorized speech, that word-for-word memorization. Public speaking students often fall into the trap of under-preparing and under-practicing their speeches. The result is an, oh no, I'm not prepared, and now I must read this outline word for word and hope for the best. However, the best does not come to fruition, and students that engage in this practice are disappointed when they lose substantial points from their speech grade due to lack of preparation, practice, and reading word for word from an outline. Just don't do it. So, if you want to know about a few ways to engage in extemporaneous speaking, because you might want to do it at some point, whether it's for a few people or for a lot of people. You want to know your speech topic, know what you're going to be talking about. And in order to know what you're going to be talking about, you might do a little research. So research your topic. And then you might also lay it out on paper. So that's creating a timeline, research, writing, peer review, practicing, editing, practice again. You can also create like note cards to guide your speech to kind of trigger your memory. And then you want to rehearse it. Practice, practice, practice. I don't practice any of these podcasts. I put it out the first try, first go around, and you'll notice that I read quite a bit. But I also incorporate a bit of extemporaneous speaking because I do know a little bit about what I'm talking about. I don't know everything, but I know a little bit. So you might also know the difference between a monologue and a dialogue. Connecting with the audience is really key. You want to really draw people in. So the difference between a dialogue and a monologue, you might be wondering. So the first tenet of the dialogic perspective is that communication should be dialogue and not a monologue. This old dead dude named Lev Yakubinsky argued that even public speaking situations often turn into dialogues when audience members actively engage speakers by asking questions. He even claimed that nonverbal behavior, so nonverbal behavior is going to be things like nodding your head in agreement or even scowling. So that nonverbal behavior functions as feedback for speakers and contributes to a dialogue. Overall, if you approach your public speaking experience as a dialogue, you'll be more actively engaged as a speaker and more attentive to how your audience is responding, which will, in turn, lead to more actively engaged audience members. So I recently did a Facebook Live with a friend of mine, shout out to Kelsey, and we did engage the audience in a way that wasn't direct. We weren't face to face with these folks, but since we were live, they were able to comment. And so people were commenting and we were engaged with them in that way. So you want to build a proper timeline. To ensure you have enough time for the assignment, create a timeline that works for your schedule. It will take approximately 4 weeks to deliver an extemporaneous speech. So if you've got a big thing coming up, give yourself a month, because in week 1, you're going to brainstorm your speech topic and conduct an audience analysis. In the second week, you're going to research, gather support, plan your outline, and write the speech. Week 3, you want to edit, peer review, and begin practicing your speech. In week 4, revise, practice, create note cards. Remember those trigger your memory? Create a visual aid that can be helpful as well, and refine your delivery. So you might have noticed that this is specific to like kind of schooling stuff. So if you're in school or even in presentations for work, sometimes they want you to prepare a significant topic. And so the key takeaways from this is that you'll want to become familiar with extemporaneous speaking in order to work towards speech delivery that relies on effective speech strategies and not reading word for word from an outline. So it's a skill, right? It's a skill that public speaking is a skill that can be honed. And students will want to plan ahead to deliver a strong speech in the informative and persuasive speech kind of situation. So that timeline I mentioned, like the point of that will assist in delivering a well-delivered extemporaneous speech. If you don't have that outline, I even do outlines for my podcast. So I have the disclaimer actually written out, and then I have the topic of what I don't know is, and then I have the meat and potatoes of it. And then I get down to the references section, and sometimes I have a little blurb there, sometimes I don't. So today it's off the cuff. I hope everyone enjoyed today's episode. And if you want to contribute, click the button on the website. I do appreciate each and every one of you simply for existing.